Alrighty, we're going to be talking about some resume tips this week. This is a really important topic because you want to be able to, find a job after you go through all of the pain and torture of the exam. So I'd love to help you out. If you do have questions after this video, make sure you reach out to us at info@ptexamprep.ca. All right, let's talk about the 5 tips you need to know to get hired as a PT. Now, the first tip here is don't be afraid to stand out. So the person who is looking at your resume generally is going to make a decision within 6 to 9 seconds if they do want to bring you in for an interview. So it's really important to have some critical information at the very start of your resume, especially if you're applying for a job in Canada and you're not trained here. A lot of people that are coming in that are internationally trained from your country are going to put the same things on their resume. So stand out, okay? Include a short paragraph at the beginning about how you fell in love with physio, and make sure it's the type of physio that you're applying to. So if you want to work in public or not like a hospital, make sure your story resonates with why you'd want to work in a hospital. Same thing with maybe sports or orthopedic. Talk about a situation that made you fall in love with physio. Okay. Next, you want to write about why you're applying for the role. So is it something that you are looking for mentorship? Now remember, mentorship means that the clinic needs to take on a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of work to mentor a new PT. So if that's what you're looking for, maybe sugarcoat it and make sure you're giving them something that entices them to pick you. Okay. Next, include an article or a research paper that you found fascinating or relevant. Okay. So potentially talk about a new treatment type or say a new piece of information that is relevant to that PT to show that you're on top of the research and you're going to bring that into your clinical practice, okay? This is a great way to show your personality and show that you have an interest in learning, because what good physio isn't constantly learning, right? All right, point number 2, I want you to read the job description, okay? I can't stress the importance enough of how much you need to read that job description, pick out those key information, and include that in your resume. So things I want you to look for are keywords that are describing a skill, whether that be soft skills or a clinical skill. Keywords describing experience, so maybe years or responsibilities that were included in that. Keywords for describing culture, so say they're talking about they want someone who's interested in learning or going out into the community. So pick those topics and include that in your resume, okay? So make sure your resume can answer the question, why are you a good fit for that clinic? So showcase your most relevant work experience, skills, and affiliations. Again, I stress that we don't really care if you were like the student president. We want to know that you went over and above, and what did you do? Why is that important to them, okay? And make sure to highlight any unique skills that you have. So if you have gone and done extra courses, make sure to include that as well. And make sure to include anything that you have planned coming up. Okay, tip number 3, spell check, spell check, spell check. And did I say spell check? So super important. Did you spell check your resume? The stats say about 76% of employers will not even go past reading your resume if you have a spelling error. So seriously, this is so important. So how can you make sure you don't have a spelling error? So number 1, try a new perspective. Maybe try reading it backwards and make sure there's no grammatical or spelling issues. Number 2, try to have a different perspective. So maybe take a break, walk away, come back to it, and see how you do. Number 3, and this is my favorite, we do this with our course manual too. Offer a bug bonus to a friend. So pass your resume off to a friend or peer and say, if you find an error, I'll give you $1. The more errors you find, the more money you make. Okay, next up, quantify. Show your worth to the employer, okay? So what does that look like? Talk about what your caseload was at a previous clinic. Were you full within 2 months? They want to hear that. Ultimately, that comes down to their bottom line, and they don't have to market you that much. Did you go and do a certain amount of presentations in the community? Again, super helpful. Write that down. You average 5 presentations in 6 months. Really important for them to know. Next, they really want to know that you're going to pass the exam. Remember, taking on an interim physiotherapist is a huge risk. It's a risk financially. It's a risk to your reputation. You need need these people to pass, okay? So it's important for you to show them that you have put the necessary steps in to pass the exam. One of the best ways to do this is show that you are registered for a course, and that's where we come in. So we do have a really high success rate, and that correlates to, more confidence and that employer potentially hiring you. So make sure you put us, if you're taking us, don't put us on there if you're not taking us, but put us on there if you're registered for any of our courses, okay? And definitely let me know that too, because a lot of those people do reach out to us. Again, we are located all across Canada, so clinics know about us. But yeah, definitely let me know. As well, you do have a higher chance of passing when you take a course, as I said. So it's really, really important that you make this a key component to your resume. All right, here's my last tip. So you've worked hard, you've prepared for your exams, you got your resume all beautiful. And then at the top, you said contact you at crazy_blonde 1991. Ugh, that's a scary thing to do. And apparently employers reject resumes 76% of the time because they have a really poor email address. So make sure you put an appropriate email in, whether it's just something personal, say your name, but I also encourage you to make it physio specific. So maybe like CaitlinProctor_PT@gmail.com. Now don't email me there. That's not a real email. If you do want to contact me, email me at info@ptexamprep.ca. I'd love to take a look at your resume. I also have people that I can connect you with to help make sure that your resume is ready to go out. And if you do need help applying for places, so you don't know where to apply, you don't know where's a good place that'll take you under their wing and mentor you, definitely reach out to me and we can help you. So thanks for joining me.